Hello everyone, my name is Pallav Agarwal and today I want to talk about an interesting product which is a power management chip recently released by Nordic Semiconductor, that is NPM1100. This chip is mainly useful for a battery powered embedded product. If you have an interest in low power embedded system design, you'll find this chip very interesting. In this video, I will share various features of this chip, one of the feature which is not so much talked about, and some of the limitations which you should be aware of before considering this chip for your application. I'm also working on a custom breakout board for NPM 1100. We'll share some details, so please watch this video till last. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and support my effort in creating useful videos. I'll be creating a lot of videos in the coming weeks and months. So let's get started. For any battery powered embedded product like wearables, personal tracker, asset trackers, drones, etc., power management is very critical. And in power management, efficiency and small size of the solution is important. This is a block level view of a typical battery powered embedded product. You have input power, you will have a battery charger, buck converter, one or multiple, and then boost converter. You will be having sensors, display, microcontroller, and connectivity interfaces. You will also have power path control circuitry, which will control whether your system is getting powered from input power or battery. So with the help of NPM 1100, we are able to get power path control, inbuilt battery charger, and buck converter in single chip. So let us see key features of NPM 1100. It has battery charger, which can charge lithium ion or lithium polymer battery up to 400 milliampere charging current. It has NTC input so that you can connect NTC for battery charger to protect in case battery temperature goes high. It has very efficient buck converter, which can be configured with the help of two pins, 1.8 volt, 2.1 volt, 2.7 volt, or 3.0 volt. It has internal power path control mechanism. IQ of this power management chip is very low, which is approximately 800 nanoamps. And it also has a shipping mode, which enables 400 nanoamps quiescent current. This power management chip is very small in size, so you can easily create very small power management circuitry. This is the block diagram of NPM 1100. So you can see V bus input pin is there. You also have D plus, D minus, and I set pin. With the help of these pins, you can set what is the current limit for system regulator. So you can set it for 100 milliampere or 500 milliampere. So there is a system regulator which basically gives you unregulated output to your charger as well as to the buck converter. So coming to the charger section, it has maximum capability of charging any lithium ion battery up to 400 milliamps. Charging current can be configured with the help of an external resistor. Battery voltage can be configured with the help of V-term set pin. So if you make it high, your battery voltage, terminating voltage will be 4.2 volts. And if it is low, battery termination voltage will be 4.1. This pin is for external NTC temperature sensor connection. This could be either internal temperature sensor within the battery pack, or if an external NTC temperature sensor is there, you can connect between NTC pin and AVSS. If we move on to DC-DC regulator side, you have a decoupling cap which is provided for the input side of buck converter, and for buck converter to operate you need external inductor as well as a capacitor. Output of the buck converter, which is V output B, can be configured with the help of these two pins, V output B set 0 and set 1. You can have four different outputs which you can configure between 1.8 volt to 3.0 volt. There is a mode pin, which basically selects whether buck converter will operate in fixed PWM mode or it will operate in PFM or PWM mode depending on the load current. So this is especially important when you are transmitting data over RF channel. That time you can configure DC-DC converter in fixed PWM mode so that your power supply output ripple is low, so that your RF transmission performance is high. This chip also provides two LED control, one for charging status. So when charging is on, this LED will be glowing, and when charging stops, this LED will stop glowing. And there is another LED which indicates any error during charging. So in case your battery is not connected or battery over voltage is there or high temperature is detected, this error LED will glow. So this is the internals of NPM1100. Let us talk about shift mode of this PMIC chip. So they have provided two dedicated pins, SHP act and SHP hold, basically activate pin and hold pin. In order to activate shift mode, what you have to do is you have to provide high signal on SHP ACT pin for a defined period of time, and then this PMIC chip will be configured into shift mode and it will consume approximately 400 nanoamps. If you want to come out of shift mode, what you have to do is you have to make this pin low. So this feature is not only useful for making your device into shipping mode where it consumes lowest possible power, but it can also act as on and off button for your product. Consider a scenario, this pin is also connected to your MCU, and when you press this button for let's say 5 seconds, MCU will detect that a user wants to put device into power off condition. After detecting this pin low for 5 seconds, MCU will give this signal high for a predefined time. It will make device almost power off, consuming only 400 nanoampere. And when user wants to make device on again, he will press this button for a predefined time and device will recover, and this PMIC chip will come out of shipping mode and start operating, and your buck converter output will power on the system circuitry. So now let us talk about some of the limitations of NPM 1100. So obviously this is a very small PMIC chip, and there are a couple of limitations which you should be aware of. Like maximum charging current possible is 400 milliampere. So if you have a bigger battery like 3000 milliampere hour, or let's say even more, then this charging current may be quite less and your charging time will be very high. So you need to consider this parameter. And it has only single buck converter. So if you need multiple voltage rail for your circuitry, this PMIC might not be useful. And the output current capability is only 150 milliampere. From buck voltage output point of view, it can only supply 1.8, 2.1, 2.7, 3.0 volt, which might be good enough for many of the requirements. But in case you need any other voltage, this PMIC IC might not be useful. This PMIC chip doesn't have any boost converter. So for example, if you need 3.8 volt for your radio frequency module, for example, LTE modems generally will need 3.3 volt or 3.8 volt. There is no boost converter inbuilt in this chip. In those applications, this might not be the best PMIC chip. Or if you want to use this PMIC chip, you need to use external boost converter. Other limitation is with respect to the PCB. So if you want to have access to all the pins, you need to use blind vias, which increases PCB cost, and not all manufacturers have that capability. So this is one limitation. Limitation of complex PCB design could be handled with the help of a reduced configuration. For example, if you fix your output with the help of set 0 and set 1 and you remove shipping mode feature from your device, it is easy to design PCB with the help of only two layers, and you won't need any of these blind wires. For example, if you want to set output voltage 1.8 volt, you can make these two pins low by connecting both these pins to ground, and you don't need these wires. And this ground wire can be, put here. And similarly, this pin is used for configuring whether you need 4.2 volt or 4.1 volt as battery termination voltage. So you can easily connect to this VSys pin or ground for the configuration. You don't need this blind wire. You only need these blind wires if you want to take this signal out and do, provide a configuration option. And obviously, if you are looking for less complex PCB design using only two layers, you cannot use ship mode. This is the evaluation board provided by Nordic Semiconductor, which provides you all the different interfaces with the help of which you can very easily and quickly evaluate NPM1100 PMIC chip. So this is the USB input for input power. They have provided three different connectors for battery connection. This is for connecting your NTC. They have provided easy to use 4-pin header where you have battery input connection, buck converter output, ground, and then all the signals which are used for configuration are brought on these two headers, with the help of which, if you want to evaluate this with your own circuitry, you can do that very easily. They have also provided different dip switches with the help of which you can very quickly configure and see how PMIC works. For example, with the help of this dip switch, you can configure the charging current, battery charging current. This is used for a buck converter output configuration. This is for battery termination voltage. This is for setting the current limit of the device, whether you need current limit of 100 milliampere or 500 milliampere. And this is for selecting the buck converters mode, whether it will operate in fixed PWM mode or PWM PFM mode. They have provided two switches in order to configure the device in shipping mode and recovering it back. So this is very useful evaluation board, and this helps you understand chip really well within a couple of minutes. So I'm also working on a custom breakout board for NPM1100, which is not only using NPM PMIC chip, but also has battery fuel gauge and then USB to UART. So this could be more useful prototyping board for battery powered embedded product. So with the help of USB, you are not only getting power for your battery, but also you are able to communicate using USB to UART. So you don't need to, have another USB to UART board if you are trying to prototype. And for shipping and hold, here you will have the button. And this fuel gauge will give you access to battery capacity with the help of I2C interface. And these are the description of all the pins. And with the help of jumpers, you will be able to configure your PMIC chip. For battery termination voltage, this is your current limit of the device. And these two jumpers are for setting buck converter voltage output. So that's all I wanted to share about NPM1100. I hope you found this video useful. If you want to learn more about embedded system design, please visit my blog pallavagarwal.in. Thank you very much, and I will see you in my next video.